This is a case study review for APN 605, and this is the effects of childhood obesity. So, despite new food campaigns targeting healthy eating habits, there are still many food companies that specifically target children with food that is loaded with sugar and an ingredient that can lead to obesity. This is a key factor as to why children with obesity is on the rise, with over 41 million children worldwide tipping the scales from overweight to obese. According to the American Heart Association, children should consume no more than 3 to 6 teaspoons a day in added sugar. But the reality is that many children are doubling, even tripling the recommendation. A standard can of soda has around 35 grams or 7 teaspoons of sugar. So you can see how quickly a child can end up consuming over that recommended daily limit. This is important to consider as we move to discuss the healthy alternatives for this particular case study. Unfortunately, sugar and the lack of exercises are not only the culprit when it comes to obesity in children. Trans fat, found in many processed foods, is directly related to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and of course childhood obesity, and in this case, hypertension for this particular case study. To best understand trans fat, it is important to define the difference between real food and processed food. Real food exists in a natural state or have maybe been mechanically processed without any chemical alteration. Trans fat occurs when naturally in meat and dairy, but from artificial trans fat, which is what we're talking about here, and is made of vegetable and other oils to create specific flavors and textures to processed foods. So cutting artery clogging trans fat is an important step to creating a healthy, balanced lifestyle, and the first step for cutting them is to start looking at those ingredients list before buying the products. So it's also important to get the family involved. In this case, for Jane, it seems as though the entire family has some issues with being overweight. So this recommendation for her is not just solely, the way I set it up, is not solely for just her meal plan, but this can be adapted to the other 2 kids as well, as seeing as the entire family is struggling with weight. So they all should get on board, participate, and not just single out the one person who's struggling with obesity, but it becomes where the entire family has to get more exercise and start eating healthy so that it can be a family affair. One thing to consider is making the dietary shift together, and this is beneficial as a positive reinforcement and crucial to a child's success in losing weight. So the family transition should be as clean as possible. So according to the CDC growth chart, Jane's BMI is 28, which places her in the 96th percentile. This means that Jane is considered obese for her age and stature. She is 14 years of age, and her 3-day recall food diary reflects a high caloric and sugar intake. When considering a meal plan, 3-day meal recommendation for her, I took some of the premises from the paleo diet, and the paleo diet is the belief that people should only be eating foods for hunter-gatherer ancestors, or generally food that existed before processing pretty much the Industrial Revolution, came into being in the 1940s. Some of the guidelines of the diet is restricting gluten, processed foods, salt, dairy, refined sugar, legumes, refined vegetable oils, and grains. And some of the things that are encouraged on the paleo diet is proteins, fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, healthy oils, and which consists of avocado, coconut, walnut, and flaxseed. And there's also some dessert options with the paleo way. An alternative as well is going Whole 30 is another option. So that's a kind of an idea that I conceptualized with creating this particular meal plan, in addition to looking at her caloric intake. But Whole 30 is an option to get started. The idea around is that this particular diet is that you can give yourself 30 days to eat healthy, and in those 30 days you will jumpstart new eating patterns. Now this is good for children because this allows them at least 8 touch points, which is recommended to introduce children to new foods and a new lifestyle. So introducing them to new things gives them enough time to change their eating habits. So, and there's a Whole 30 website that has a lot of great resources for planning meals, including a calendar for the family to plan a month to grocery shop accordingly. But for my recommendation, so what's the plan? The recommendation for Jan would be to exchange sugary drinks for water and reduce caffeine intake. In addition, her current diet lacks adequate fruits and vegetables, so I would recommend the exchange of cookies and other pastries for whole fruits. And I'm going to show you what Jan's 3-day meal plan looks like. And it consists of lunchbox friendly foods, giving her energy throughout the day, easily customizable for her individual needs. And it's also encouraged that Jane and other children follow their natural hunger and fullness cues and not eating past that. So I have a breakdown of the breakfast, the snack, the lunch, another snack, dinner, and dessert snack. And these are her day-to-day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Her fats, her carbohydrates, her proteins, her calories, just under 2,000 calories per day. But with a high enough energy in fat and carbohydrates for a young child, so that she can have the energy to be active, which is what she'll need while she's changing her eating habits to reduce and encourage weight loss. So each day there's smoothies, pancake options, and again this is a blend of paleo and Whole 30, and it eliminates grains, and these are the things that she's going to need to remove in order to start seeing results. Snacks, a lot of vegetables, alternatives to chicken fingers, and let me go back here. She still can eat sandwiches, fruit, even snacks where she's getting her protein and fats. And then swapping out pasta with spaghetti squash. And then instead of cookies and ice cream, just coconut milk and fruit. Okay, so understandably, the family in this particular case study did show that they had some struggle or some issues with foods, purchasing foods. They did a lot of fast food eating, so I encourage the SNAP program. It provides nutrition benefits to supplement the food budget for needy families so they can purchase healthy foods and move towards self-sufficiency. SNAP Ed also teaches people how to shop and cook healthy meals. So in this particular case, they'll need to learn how to change their lifestyle. Instead of just going out and purchasing foods, they need to learn how and which foods to buy. So SNAP Ed is a good resource for them to learn how to make their dollars stretch, and it works with partners to make the healthy choice the easy choice. So that is it for this particular case study for Jan, and I thank you very much.